Howdy howdy. Like a TV show that censors out the swear words, sometimes LEGO censors out certain parts of their sets. They might not be considered kid-friendly enough, or they might introduce kids to very serious topics, and LEGO may not be willing to do that.
No.
Or LEGO consider the original material too violent. So let's check out the 6 censored LEGO sets. And I'm not necessarily criticizing LEGO for censoring all these sets. This is more observations of the changes LEGO has chosen to make, but I may still voice my personal opinion a little bit. But I'd like to ask a friend's help discussing these sets. They've covered this topic before in their own channel, and they're a true LEGO master. In fact, I took inspiration for this from their video. Hey, just too good. Wanna help out?
Okay. I've covered these sets before, I'd be glad to help. Sorry, I was just a little bit surprised there.
Hey, thanks my friend. It's great to have you back. Let's begin. Number 6. The Jurassic World or Dino sets. Originally, in the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies, the humans were desperately fighting for their lives, and they'd often have to bring out lethal weapons, or else they'd be torn to shreds by dinosaurs. But soldiers and civilians in modern LEGO dinosaur sets will never wield any lethal weapons. Rather, they'll instead carry tranquilizer guns. But this wasn't always the case.
LEGO even censored the names of these sets, where in 2005 in North America, we had Dino Attack. The rest of the world had Dino 2010 the same year.
The original Dino Attack sets were about hunting down and killing, or at least defending against the dinosaurs with heavy artillery vehicles. You can see on the front box, the helicopter is firing at the dinosaur as the building is set on fire. It's kind of awesome. But modern dino sets changed this around to be about the capture of the dinosaurs. That being said, a lot of these still look awesome. At first, there were still some weapons, but by Dino 2012, all lethal weapons had been dropped completely in favor of tranquilizers. Also, on a side note, this box is kind of bothering me. Do you think this box's colors are kind of garish and clash terribly with the LEGO?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I remember we were talking and you were saying that you like the box designs of Dino Attack as opposed to exposure on the Dino 2010 sets.
Whether or not I agree with LEGO's change, I think I understand why they made the change. While hunting was a more common hobby in previous decades, it's not as much of a social norm nowadays as it was then. For some people, why would they bother hunting their food when they can buy their meat from the store? While other people feel in their element hunting in nature. Wild meat is extremely climate friendly too, so there's definite pluses. Anyway, way off topic. Nowadays, LEGO dino sets haven't a single lethal weapon in sight, Jurassic or otherwise. I don't know, personally I'd like some defense against a giant human-eating carnivore beyond a tranquilizer. Nowadays we have sets like the Dino Hunter set, which comes with a big crane to capture the T-Rex, but no lethal weapons in sight. Number 5. LEGO Star Wars Boba Fett's Starship. Originally, Boba Fett's Starship was actually called Slave One, but the LEGO version was changed to Boba Fett's Starship. I think there's one particular reason this was changed. A LEGO set with the word slave in it stands out like a sore thumb. It's a word with a lot of muddy history and atrocities behind it. So I'm not that surprised that LEGO shied away from the word. Hey, I remember you discussed this one already, so what did you think about LEGO avoiding the S word?
Now, this is speculation, of course, but I don't think they want to advertise that Boba Fett was a slaver and that he had a ship to transport slaves. I mean, slavery is bad, of course. So are wars, and it's a series called Star Wars. Whatever you do, do not look at where the name Stormtrooper comes from.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at the end of the day, they can call their sets whatever they want. It's their company. But this time, we actually have confirmation on what happened, right from the source. As Brickset and Jedi News briefly spoke with the LEGO Star Wars design team about the changed name.
We're not calling it Slave One anymore. It's Boba Fett Starship.
Okay, why are we dropping the slave name?
It's not something that's been announced publicly, but it's a name that Disney doesn't want to use anymore.
Now that Disney's taken over Star Wars, I guess they just want to play it safer and avoid any references to Boba Fett's previous cargo. And finally, there's of course a less cultural and more practical reason for this name change. It's just straight up better marketing to advertise Boba Fett on your LEGO box, rather than some random ship name like Slave One. I can't do it. Number 4. Super Mario Boomer Bill Barrage. What a weird name. I've heard of the Banzai Bill, but for some weird reason they've renamed Banzai Bill to Boomer Bill. I don't think there's ever been an enemy in Mario called Boomer Bill, has there?
Nope, it seems like LEGO just made that up.
Huh, why'd they change the name?
Well, Banzai Bill had the word bonsai in it, which is a Japanese war cry. It's a loaded title.
Right, yeah. The Banzai charge was a term used during World War II to refer to Japanese human wave attacks. Basically, when the Nazi-allied Japanese forces conducted a frontal assault with a huge wave of soldiers. But you know, on the other hand, Banzai can also be translated to a Japanese cheer.
Banzai!
Banzai! I'd also note that Banzai could be changed to a bonsai tree with 2 letters changed. But on the other hand, very unfortunate things could be done to the words rake and count with only 1 letter change, so I think I'll keep that argument to myself.
Good call. LEGO standards seem to change a lot with war stuff. I mean, there's some new Indiana Jones stuff covering some war stuff. There's Star Wars once again. It's kind of confusing.
It is a weird double standard, isn't it? I guess Star Wars is considered buried enough in sci-fi that they make an exception. But when it comes to real life stuff, I remember you mentioned they did censoring with the Osprey too.
Yeah, LEGO pulled the release of the Osprey right before it was supposed to come out. Some small stores still got it, and then they just released a statement covering it all.
We have a long-standing policy not to create sets which feature military vehicles, so it has been decided not to proceed with the launch of this product. We appreciate that some fans who are looking forward to this set may be disappointed, but we believe it's important to ensure we uphold our brand values.
Alright LEGO, fair enough, you do you.
Editor fun fact here. I asked him if he gave me this segment because he assumed I would know the anime used in all of the bonsai memes he kept finding during his research. To which, yeah, it's Kantai Collection, episode 2, but that's beside the point. What he doesn't know is that this show is actually about World War II naval ships having souls and being reincarnated as cutesy anime girls. I am not even kidding. Bonsai indeed, Strider.
World War II naval ship? Really? Well, now I know. And for number 3, LEGO Jabba's Palace. This set has just caused endless problems, hasn't it? As well as the controversy it got into with the Turkish cultural community, the LEGO set also got a couple of censorships. In the original LEGO Jabba's Palace, we got a slave Leia in a bikini, but in the modern Jabba's Palace set, Chewbacca is in chains instead.
Do keep in mind that in 2013, which was a year after this Jabba's Palace, we did get Slave Leia in the Jabba's Sail Barge set, but I guess maybe they didn't want to put her chained to the wall like the original set had, or maybe it was just LEGO saying, oh yeah, you gotta buy this other set to complete this set that we released the previous year.
Oh dang, I missed that one completely, sorry. I guess they saved Slave Leia for the special yacht set.
Another censorship I pointed out in my list video was the Dancing Twi'lek, where they censored the nipples. In the movie, her nipples are exposed, but it is in the dark, so you can't really see too much.
In this particular set, obviously that particular feature was avoided. Still, at least they kept the fishnet shirt.
I mean, haven't you noticed, I guess LEGO male figures don't even include nipples either.
Hey, yeah, you're right, they don't. Why do you suppose that is? It seems like it'd be super easy to just add 2 little dots to their figures.
I mean, some theories have it that if they did have those, people would just swap the minifigure head and make a nude female or whatever, which is more taboo in many parts of the world. Who knows?
That's true, though I suppose if trolls are going to go that far, they might as well just draw the dots on themselves. And what do we got for number 2? LEGO Simpsons. When it comes to Simpsons, there's a lot of alcohol references, and LEGO makes sure to keep almost any references to alcohol out of their sets.
I mean, LEGO has an exception to this rule if it's a historical or historical fantasy setting, castle, pirates, you'll see booze pop up.
But when it comes to, say, a modern beer like Duff Beer, they instead give Homer a Buzz Cola to drink. And like, I get it, but when has Homer ever drunk a Buzz Cola in his life? Two examples of where we can see this alcohol censoring are in LEGO Dimensions, and of course in the LEGO Quickie Mart set. Homer can be seen in these holding a Buzz Cola.
I mean, there is that modern setting of Bro Thor set, which has booze implied, but you didn't see like Selma and Patty smoking cigarettes in the Simpsons series too.
Oh yeah, no more chain smoking from these two. They're holding their DMV equipment instead, so I guess you could argue they can't smoke on the job. Or even better, maybe they quit. That'd be amazing. According to the Simpsons wiki, the grey tinge in Patty and Selma's hair is actually due to cigarette ash. So I think LEGO can only hide their addiction so much here. Though I have noticed that Patty and Selma haven't been showing up as much in modern Simpsons episodes. I wonder if modern Simpsons are trying to shy them away from their chain-smoking habits. Well, probably not, because it turns out Patty and Selma quit smoking in season 27 in the episode Puffless. They finally learnt what caused their dad's death. Apparently he died of lung cancer, and that finally gave the duo the push they needed to finally quit smoking. Good for them. Wait, never mind, they immediately smoke at the end of the episode.
I mean, trust me, sobriety is very hard. As somebody who's been sober for almost a year now. But there is one glaring omission where it's like, they didn't include that character.
Someone else is missing? Who?
Mo. He's missing from all the LEGO Simpsons sets, not even LEGO Dimensions.
Oh yeah, unless you look at custom builds, there's no chance of building Moe's Tavern.
But some people will be like, why would they do this? LEGO Star Wars has bartenders.
Yeah, they have too. Star Wars seems to be exception to some of their rules, don't they? I guess Moe is like the physical embodiment of alcohol references. When I see Moe, I think it's hard not to think of beer.
Don't worry, I still like you, Mo. Rock on!
It's a shame. Trust me, Mo is one of my most wanted minifigures ever. Rock on, Mo. He's a great character.
Yeah, we all like Moe. Rock on, buddy. And for number 1, LEGO Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. It's interesting to see just what LEGO has done with Harley Quinn. She's a real star of the LEGO DC supervillains, and she's been in many LEGO sets. But you'll probably never see the name of the squad she's famous for being in, the Suicide Squad. LEGO Harley Quinn's just kinda there, and to me, this makes some sense. I don't think LEGO wants to be the ones to introduce the word suicide to kids, because detaching that word from squad could lead to some potentially shocking search result for some kids. And it could lead to parents having to discuss a very serious topic with their kids much earlier than they ever thought they'd have to.
Yeah, but LEGO did try to capitalize on Suicide Squad's fame, where they advertised it at the time of the release of the new Suicide Squad movie on their LEGO shop page.
Yeah, I remember LEGO YouTubers like Ashen Flash were kind of annoyed at the double standards of this.
I don't understand what they were thinking. Like, to me, I thought it was a joke. Like, there's no way. What are they thinking?
He pointed out that LEGO advertised Harley Quinn on the release day of Suicide Squad in her uniform right on their front page. Yet when you click to browse these LEGO sets, there's no Suicide Squad sets to be seen. Instead, Harley Quinn uses her Suicide Squad costume in the Batman vs. Penguin set for some reason. It seems like LEGO would like to capitalize on the popularity of Harley Quinn more, but perhaps the name of her squad makes it a no-go.
I mean, the movie's rated R, the second one at least, at the time this advertisement was out. And of course, the name, The Suicide Squad, definitely prevented it when the first movie came out. But yeah.
There have been some really good sets submitted to LEGO Ideas too. People tried to make a set referring to the said squad. But to no big surprise, LEGO has rejected all of these ideas.
There's also small censored details, like in the movie, the character had property of Joker, but in the Apocalypseburg set, that title's removed.
Well, I do get that modification better. Personally, I'm alright with that change for kids.
LEGO doesn't seem to have any content tied to R ratings, but I did do a list video kind of looking into the closest things they had to R-rated tie-ins. You can check that out on Just Too Good.
Anyway, if you have an opinion on these sets that were censored, or you think I missed a set, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks to my friend Just Too Good for their help, and for inspiring this video with their own censored LEGO sets video. You can find Just Too Good's video of this here.
No problem, Strider. This was so much fun, and I can't wait to be on here again.
And as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I might see you next time. Today we have 2 member questions. The first is from What Non Stuff, who asks, what do you think of the Wiggles? For USA users, the Wiggles is an Australian band that focuses on kids' songs. And personally, I think one of the most tolerable Australian kids shows of my youth. We have some really cringy kids shows in Australia, like the real insipid cringy stuff, but the Wiggles I like, and their songs are really catchy. They're always a welcome sight for me, even at 34. The second question is from Bingo Bluey fan, who asks, do you plan on making a video about Bluey? Bluey actually comes from my favourite TV channel, ABC, basically the Australian version of the CBC. And even if I don't personally find it that entertaining, I think Bluey's fantastic. I'm so glad to see so much quality programming coming out of my home country. Not sure if I'll ever talk about Bluey, but you can be sure I personally think it's the bomb.